All right, here we go. 2017 Ford Focus 1.5 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder European model. So what can I say about that car? We have that car since I guess it's end of 2017. It is the latest generation before of the actual Ford Focus, so it already has the facelift with a chrome grille in the front, which looks like a little bit like Aston Martin. Very nice to see. Very sportive and aggressive. It has no digital speedometer, etc. It is still an analog part. However, you have a board computer. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but this little piece over here is the board computer, which is completely digital, of course, and we have different selections that we can see in the board computer. For example, the trip, the current fuel consumption, the average fuel consumption since the last reset of the counter. We have the fuelage to go so far. The rest fuel in the tank, so it gives you a prediction how many kilometers you can go with the remaining fuel in the tank. That's little part down right. We have a car symbol that is illustrating, for example, open doors, also the trunk, the lights, if the lights go on, including the high beam and also the fog lights. All other indicators, we do have the possibility to switch this view, for example, in the digital speedometer, which is very nice if you're doing acceleration or if you go through a road where you know there's a lot of speed controls, so you know exactly what the speed per your own speedometer is. That's very comfortable. We do have a day counter, so that is the trip computer. We have the average fuel consumption that you can also go further. You can see, for example, an evaluation of the car in regards to economic drive. It is a manual gearbox, therefore you have 3 points or 3 categories where you can earn points while driving. For example, that's shifting, that's the way you look on the street and adapt your driving behavior to the traffic situation. So for example, if you see there is a red light, you step off the gas in a certain time before, so you use the rest speed to get to the traffic light, for example. I don't know how this computer is calculating those points. I just know that this is available. So we also have the point with the speed. I believe that has something to do with the speed, with the shifting behavior, so that you adapt your speed always to the right RPMs. This computer also has, of course, a shifting recommendation that's marked down here in the board computer, the board computer, so that you know when to shift in the next gear. It also has a pretty nice feature. It is a traffic sign recognition, so it can give you over here, maybe you can see that on the camera, I don't know, there is a little copy of the traffic sign, of the speed sign over here, so that I can keep in mind my car was checking this and there's actually 100 kilometers an hour. So that helps me to remind how fast may I go on that street. That is done by a camera which is underneath the rear mirror or here, over here, directly at the front window and the windshield. But what else do we have? We have the other standard features, the current, fuel consumption, we have the fuel to empty, we do have the driving time since the last reset, which is pretty nice to know, the average speed you were going since the last reset, and also information about potential navigation advices. So that's pretty nice. You have two board computers, so you can manually reset them, that's fine. This car also has a very nice feature. I can activate or deactivate it by pressing this button over here, and it is a speed line, driving lane assistant, so it helps you to keep in the lane. That is very helpful if you go on Autobahn for a longer time, for example. You see, probably you can see it here in the board computer, the camera down here has recognized the lane limits and marks them with a green sign over here. So for me, that means I'm completely within the correct line. Once I go a little too close away, it gets yellow and the car is automatically steering it back into the lane, which is very comfortable. You can set this assistant that you get a vibration on the steering wheel to remind you that you have to keep in the lane. It can also assist you in case of steering into the lane, which is very nice, and also give you an acoustic signal, which is also very helpful. And that's activated and deactivated with that button over here. That's pretty nice. What else do we have? We have of course automatic wipers. We have automatic lightning on the car. So depending on the daylight, the car switches on the lights automatically or not. What else do we have? We have a water temperature gauge, and also of course the fuel gauge. We have several controls over here at the steering wheel. We have, for example, the audio control combined with a voice command. So for example, for navigation or phoning or something like that, that's pretty comfortable. We can pick up the phone or hang up the phone with two buttons. That's nice. We have over here the possibility to go through the menu of the board computer without leaving the steering wheel with your hands. That's nice. We have a cruise control that can be activated over here and set also over here. So maybe you can see that in the camera. The actual speed is set on 85 kilometers an hour. That's nice. You can cancel that or reset it by pressing those buttons. You can set them over here. So increase on 100 kilometers an hour, but that's too much. The truck in front of us is not going that fast. So what else do we have? We have a speed limiter, which is a very nice feature in larger cities, for example. So you can set the speed. That should be your limit, where you don't want to be faster than this, for example. And if I set 80 and I'm going faster, the car acoustically gives me a feedback, hey, you're going too fast. What's your speed? So that's nice. So now I'm around about 80, that's fine. And if I now press the gas, the car won't allow me to accelerate more than the set limit of speed. That's really a nice feature. What else do we have? We have a temperature gauge over here so that we know what is the outside temperature. We have a button, I believe you can't see that. It's behind the steering wheel. It is a start-stop button, so you don't have to use the key. The key is over here. It is a keyless go car, so you don't have to lock and unlock manually. The car unlocks when you touch the door handle, and you can also lock the car by touching the door handle when you leave the car. That's very nice. What I really like about that car very much is you can nearly heat up everything. So we have a windshield heating. Very nice, very comfortable, and very safe within the cold times of the year. So because, for example, of course you still have to remove the thick ice on the windscreen, on the windscreen when it is really cold outside. Or as an alternative, you can switch on the front window heating and just wait until the ice is melted. I mean, it's really quick working. However, I would say 1 or 2 minutes having the car in idle in cold condition is probably not the very best thing you can do for your engine, but it would be possible, of course. However, it is a very nice safety feature when it comes to re-icing of the windscreen. So when the ice comes back on the windscreen, or if you're driving through fog and the temperatures are very low, so to avoid that the windscreen ices, that's really nice. Of course, the two points on the hood where the water comes out for the windscreen cleaning, that's very nice. Those are also heated. If you have a good setting of your water for the windscreen cleaning, and you have a good solution with alcoholic solution, something like that for your windscreen cleaning, I think you would probably not need to have a heated valves for the water, but it's nice to have it, of course. What else do we have? We have a heated steering wheel. To be honest, that's probably a genetic thing. I always have cold hands. Yeah, one exception, 35 degrees outside in summer times. So under those conditions my hands are warm, but mostly in the time of the year my hands are cold. The steering wheel can be heated, and that's really a nice feature and very comfortable. I really thought when we bought that car, that is a feature I never ever would need. But that's not true. I really use it a lot of times, especially when in fall or spring, when it's chilly outside. That's really a comfortable thing. We have seat heating in the front, which is also very nice. 3 levels that you can set. We have several modes for heating up the car. For example, if you want to defrost the car very quickly, you have a certain mode. If you want to cool down the car, the inner part of the car. There's a separate mode. We have a 2-zone climate control, very nice. I really like that. We have power windows with for all windows, for all 4 windows. That's nice. We have a power lock of the rear doors when you have children sitting in the back, so you can first of all lock the windows so they cannot play around with the switch for the window, letting the window go up and down all the time. You can block that so the switch will not react on if somebody uses it. We have but also we have an electronic locking of the doors, of the rear doors, so somebody who is sitting in the back of the car will not be able to leave the car with the door lever. Especially helpful, of course, with children. That's very comfortable, just pressing one button and the doors are locked. That's really nice. What I also like about that car, you have several lighting possibilities. You have an ambience light. You cannot see that, it's too bright outside, but when the lights go on, you will also have an interior light here at the doors for the door compartments over here. That's very nice. For the door handles in the front, looks pretty nice and very luxury. One of the really cool features we have in that car is we have a USB connector for the radio, which is very nice. You can charge your phone, but you can also use, for example, Apple CarPlay from Apple or Android Auto. That's nice, but it also has a multimedia interface with Bluetooth, of course, where you can connect your phone with it, and you can also, for example, use that function when your car is connected with your phone and you have an accident, for example, and the airbag comes out, is activated by the accident. The car will also do an emergency call. So that's really a safety feature. I like that. We have a navigation system, a GPS, which is very comfortable. We have a touch screen. I know a lot of cars, Audi, for example, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they all have a solution like a multimedia control thing here in the middle frame of the car. I think that those are really good, and I wouldn't say this is not my favorite. However, I really got used to that touchscreen because it's really intuitive. Yeah, you know exactly what to do, and all you need is your hand. So that's really nice. Yeah, we have the possibility to close the outer mirrors, for example, when the car is parked. It is done automatically, but also when you are driving through a very narrow street, something like that, you can pull the outer the rear mirrors to the inside. So I can display that for you. For example, now they are in, so and the car gets a little thinner at that point. So that's nice. Yeah, what else do we have? We have a parking control, parking assistant with distance control in the front, in the back, and the car is also possible to park for itself, to power steer while parking. That's really cool. I really like that. And it also has an emergency braking function. So if something happens, for example, in the street or something like that, the car can stop automatically. That's pretty nice. I like that. So that's basically all of the features that the car has. We really are happy to have that car. It is really helpful and a pretty good car, and a pretty good replacement for our 2006 Ford Focus. There's another video on YouTube in this channel about a review of our old Ford Focus. That's really a cool thing. Maybe you see it when you go through the channel. So if you see it, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I would really appreciate all the feedback that you can give, and if you like, just subscribe my channel. I will always do a little video while cruising around, for example, or presenting new cars, something like that. My own cars, there I used to do a review for those cars. So if you're interested, just subscribe and let us know what you think. Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned, stay healthy, and enjoy the videos. Bye for now.